Good morning, everyone. It's Cynthia. So you're going to be hearing some sounds because I'm going to be making my lunch as I talk to you this morning. Hydration. As per usual, I forgot to beg you to please like, comment, subscribe, share. What else? That's it. That's all I'm begging you to do today. Please do all those like, comment, subscribe, share. 4 things. Only 4 things. It's very simple. And all of them can be done in this one place. So look in the comment section down below and do all the 4 things. Please and thank you. And now let's talk about the difference between fat phobia and body shaming. According to the Oxford Dictionary, body shaming is a noun, and it is the practice of making negative comments about a person's body shape or size. So, very simple. Smaller size people can be body shamed. Fat people can be body shamed. Basically, any comments about people's bodies that are negative is a body shaming comment. It is a practice of body shaming. So sometimes even when you think you're giving people compliments, it can be negative. So let's say someone who's struggling with an eating disorder and you compliment them on how they're losing weight, that can be body shaming. Basically, don't do it. Don't comment on people's bodies. I say this all the time. All the time. So now that we have body shaming down, skinny shaming is also a thing where you shame people because of their bodies, the size of their body, still under body shaming. Fat shaming also falls under that category because shaming people because they're fatter is negative. Anything shame on its own is just negative. Making those comments not positive. Don't do it. Why am I making this video? To show a distinction between body shaming and fat shaming. I've seen online a lot when fat people are talking about the shame they experience. Smaller size people want to be part of that conversation and they talk about negative comments about their own bodies. And there is a space for that. I acknowledge it. Like, I was shamed when I was smaller. I was shamed when I gained weight. So, fat phobia. Let's talk about fat phobia. People also call fat phobia sizeism. Basically, we're talking about systemic oppression. That's what fat phobia is dealing with. It's talking about social justice issues where people are barred from entry into certain systems because of the way they look. So healthcare is one big example that I use really often to show fat phobia, because a lot of doctors don't treat fat people the same way. They don't give them the same time, don't give them the same treatment, don't give chances for an actual diagnosis. Why am I salivating? Wow. Okay. Access to treatment, access to diagnosis, access to just like dignity while talking about fat problems. So there are cases where fat people have died because a doctor will say lose weight instead of actually doing a full-on diagnosis of a person's problem. One of the biggest cases, someone, let's call her name, Ellen Mudd Bennett. That's her name. She was in Canada, and in her obituary, just bringing awareness to fat phobia because she wasn't treated for or diagnosed with cancer because her doctors just assumed her symptoms were due to her fatness. So that's not great. Fat people should not be refused or denied access to healthcare. There are studies that show that like fat people are paid less and aren't even hired for top level jobs because of the way they look. People just assume that fat people are lazy or are unkempt. So we're not. I keep saying they, but we're not given the same access to jobs, to healthcare, to plane seats, to bus seats, just access to things that should be simple. When you think of how small plane seats are, and like how fat people sometimes will have to pay for 2 seats, or they can even be denied like their flight because of their size. Like, it's ridiculous, but it happens. And that's why it's really important to make a distinction between body shaming and fat phobia, because yeah, body shaming sucks and it affects our feelings and our emotions, but fat phobia actually affects our standard of living. It affects access, it affects healthcare, it affects jobs and income, and it affects small things like fashion. I always talk about fashion because I'm passionate about fashion, but my access to fashionable items is reduced, or I will reach out to a designer and they will tell me, oh yeah, we don't make things in your size, or we do make things in your size, but if you're over a size 16 or 14, then it's an extra whatever dollar. I am about to crack an egg into my bacon fat. But yeah, so that is the distinction between fat phobia and body shaming. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Like, comment. Thumbs up means like. Okay. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and let me know what are some other fat topics that you want to learn about or you want to talk about. I am here for you. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Love and light.